Yo, 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 Soup Squad! It's your boy Nimbo Soup again. You guys can probably tell by my upload schedule, or lack thereof, that unfortunately I haven't been feeling the motivation I have in the past to play this game. And even when I do play the game, I find myself enjoying different vehicles than I have in the past, so it got me thinking. Something funky is going on, and I want to know what it is. After some thinking, I've come to the conclusion that a lot more of it has to do with the snail than I've previously been giving it credit for. I think this game has progressed in a direction that I don't really want to see it progress in. Stick around for the first half of today's video if you're curious to hear more about it. Hopefully we can have some discussion in the comments about it too. Would love to hear your thoughts. And in the second half, I'll focus on the Mig-19PT, talk about its attributes, commentate over some good gameplay, that kind of stuff. We're keeping it conversational today, switching it up a little bit from what I'm used to, so should be interesting. Hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the discussion. Alright, welcome on into the commentary, everybody. I had a topic I kind of just wanted to sit down and have a conversation with you guys about, maybe get your opinions on it, see what you thought, and I don't know that I've ever done a video like this before, you know, completely unscripted, just going off the top of my dome. You guys know how the soup brain can be sometimes, so I do apologize in advance if I'm kind of all over the place today. But, like I said, I got something I want to talk about, and also might give you guys some more insights into my motivations and how I've personally been feeling about the game lately. Maybe it's corroborating your own story even. You might be surprised, so stick around and let me know what you think. Also, shout out to whoever asked me to play the Mig-19PT. Sorry, I'm not remembering who left that comment, but it's pretty relevant to what I'm trying to talk about today, so figured it was a good fit. We'll talk a little about the plane towards the second half of the video, but for the first half, I'm just gonna sit here and yap, so buckle up. Anyways, the topic for today's discussion is attention spans. This was brought to my attention, no pun intended, because I've noticed that I used to enjoy props a lot more than I do nowadays. Lately I've been finding myself playing a lot of faster paced stuff, you know, jets, even tanks, just because you can get into the action quicker, even missile thunder. And that's a pretty crazy thing to say if you know anything about me. I started thinking, why am I preferring this stuff at the moment? And it got me realizing that most likely my attention span is just shortening. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of societal factors at play there, like TikTok and Instagram Reels and Shorts and other stuff, but we don't need to get into the social media stuff or the other societal factors, whatever. My concern is War Thunder. I genuinely believe that BR compression being such a prevalent issue at any single vehicle you play is significantly contributing to the shortening of my attention span. I'm not quite sure the exact link between that yet, but I'm going to say what I think it is, and you guys can let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Before, when I would load up the game, I would look forward to hopping into a prop and getting into 4 1v1 dogfights in every match, and being able to use my skill and my knowledge to come out on top of those dogfights. Hey yo. Nowadays, that doesn't really happen no matter where you go, and the reason for that is, I think, mostly due to BR compression. It's just because no matter what match you play, if you're not in a full down tier, you're probably going to face at least 1 or 2 different vehicles that can just absolutely clap you no matter what you do. And it's starting to get really not fun. But Nimbo, just avoid those planes. You're missing my point here. I think that's been the main driver behind my push towards a preference for playing jets and shorter attention span things. If that makes any sense to you guys, please let me know. That might have just been a lot of yapping that didn't make any sense, but regardless, I would like to see BR compression addressed sooner rather than later. How they should address it, I have literally no idea. All I know is that there is a massive issue in this game and something needs to be done about it. Moreover, I think that my perception of the game has also changed a little bit. It just, I don't know, it pains me to say, but it's just not as fun anymore, given the BR compression issues, you know? Whether that's due to me not being able to seal club as easily as I could before or not, I'll leave up to you to decide. I truly don't think it is. Maybe I'm just growing older and not enjoying video games as much in general, but I firmly believe that a large part of it has to do with the game itself inherently changing for the negative, which is very unfortunate, obviously. But what can you do? It is what it is, I guess. Hopefully they make some changes soon that make it more fun. Oh, cheeky little 8-kill game here, by the way. Had to sneak that clip into the video somehow. Just goes to show how bad BR compression is. Look what happens in a full down tier. You get 8 kills. As a result of all of this, I think it's fair to say that my motivation for playing the game itself has gone down drastically recently, as evidenced by my inconsistency of uploads, which I truly do apologize for. My favorite part of making videos is the community, and honestly I feel like these past few months I've kind of failed you guys. Not that I've ever had a huge community, but the community I do have, I truly respect and appreciate you guys for being here, I guess. And not uploading videos for you guys to enjoy is not a great feeling. It makes me feel pretty guilty, and like I said, like I'm letting you guys down, but I don't really know what I can do if I'm not enjoying the game that I built the community on, you know? And again, not that I'm not enjoying it, I'm just not playing it nearly as much as I used to. I mean, I used to play it every single day, and now I only play it whenever I'm recording, which probably isn't a good sign. And you guys know I've only uploaded like 2 videos in the past few months, so really haven't been playing that much. Anyways, now I suppose we will shut the hell up and get talking about the Mig-19PT and the gameplay. The last 2 games here are going to be more fuller games, I suppose, instead of just actionable clips that I can yap over. Mig-19PT. I am quite familiar with the Mig-19S in the German lineup. That thing is one of my favorite planes in the entire game. This thing is not too far off at all, at least how it feels wise. I haven't done any research or anything on it, but feels really similar. Matchmaking wise, you cannot convince me that this thing has the same matchmaker as the German Mig-19S. I mean, yes, they're both at 9.3, yes, they're pretty much the same exact plane. Even though that said, the numbers don't lie, and I found myself getting significantly more down tiers in the Russian Mig-19PT than I did in the German Mig-19S. At least last time I played it, which was a few weeks ago probably, so maybe it's different by now. Probably not. There's almost definitely some hidden elements to the matchmaker that none of us know about. Maybe it goes off your stat card or something, I don't know, but this is me calling Soviet bias because I got like maybe 60% plus down tiers in the Mig-19PT, and I get like 80% plus up tiers in the German Mig-19. So yes, I'm calling Soviet bias, and I don't care what you have to say about it. Anyways, you do get 2 R3S missiles, or I think 24 rockets. It can be quite beneficial to bring the rockets, oh what a shot, just to use them as flares, but me personally, I just prefer bringing the 2 R3Ss just to kind of meme around. Oh yeah, by the way, don't talk smack in chat, especially if you can't back it up. Not gonna lie, I owned that guy. Anyways, back to the rockets versus missile thing, kind of just personal preference. My view is that you're at 9.3, there are just going to be moments where you don't have any control over it and you get quote-unquote skill issued by a missile. Ideally you have good enough positioning to avoid those situations, but again, sometimes they're just unavoidable, which actually ties in pretty nice to the theme of this video, which is things just being unavoidable. You know, now that you're facing much stronger vehicles at the same BR due to BR compression, sometimes you just don't have a plan, or can't have a plan. Back to the characteristics of the Mig-19PT. Maneuverability is great. The maneuvering energy retention is among the best in the game, if not the best in the game. Instantaneous turn rate is alright, but again, it's more about that maneuvering energy retention and the ability to pull Gs than anything else. Energy production, too, is fantastic. You've got plenty of excess thrust. If you don't know what that means, just think about it like this. What makes an energy fighter good? Produces and retains energy very well. And the Mig-19PT does both of those things extremely well. You see, it took me one loop, and that A4E has bled all of his speed and going super slow right in front of my guns. Easy as that. Unfortunately, as we know, energy fights / dogfights don't really happen at this BR, but when they do, it is extremely satisfying in this thing. Next up, SO-40-50. Luckily I caught him just on the edge of the range, double checking the missile to make sure it has enough juice to reach him. Shot it from above him, so I had gravity helping me out there. The R3Ss are quite underwhelming as far as missiles go. Pretty similar to the AIM-9Bs actually. Maybe a little bit less range even. You really can't even lead people just because the reticle is so small and the missile doesn't pull well enough to shoot at people that are going anywhere other than directly away from you, so kind of a tricky missile to use, but it's really good for situations like this where you're right behind an F-104, he doesn't have flares, he's got really hot engine. Easy missile kill right here. Actually, I can't remember if I use a missile or if I close the gap and use my guns. Looks like I closed the gap and used the guns. Speaking of the guns, another notable feature of the Mig-19, the cannons. They're good enough, but there is definitely a bit of a learning curve learning how to use them. And yeah, definitely get air target belts when you can, because sometimes without them you'll just get hits. Even though most of the time it does enough damage to get the kill, it can be kind of annoying when you get a freaking hit with a 30mm. Main drawback for the cannons is the fire rate. It can be kind of underwhelming, and it's kind of annoying when enemies seemingly fly between all of your shots. Especially since most of the shots you'll take are high-speed deflection shots. It can be a little bit tricky to hit, but once you get the lead and equally as importantly the timing of when you should shoot them, they're just fine at getting the job done. Ammo count wise is more than enough. I got that 8-kill game earlier without even RTBing once, so no problems there. You guys will notice in the gameplay that this match was a full down tier. You tend to get a decent amount of those actually playing the Russian Mig-19 compared to the German one at least. In a full down tier it's really easy just to run around the map and do whatever the hell you want. Nobody can really even touch you. Just of course be careful for fast moving boys like Milans and F-104s and anything with missiles of course. Otherwise you pretty much got free reign to do whatever you want with the enemy team. In an up tier though, definitely more of a support aircraft. I try to prioritize third-partying people, picking off people that are distracted, that kind of thing. Yeah, you can try to bait people into getting slow, but as we all know, don't need to hammer this home anymore. You'll probably just get third-partied. I don't really see a point in sitting here and commentating over any more gameplay, and don't really have anything else to say about the Russian Mig-19, so let's roll the outro. In conclusion, the Russian Mig-19PT, quite a fun vehicle to play. I mean, the plane itself, really good. Unfortunately, just kind of an extreme case of suffering from what we were talking about this video. You know, BR compression and up tiers being super painful and you can't do anything, and down tiers being an absolute blast where you just seal club the entire enemy team. That's especially true with the Mig-19 from what I can tell. As far as my motivation goes, I'm not quitting the game. Honestly, I probably never will quit the game. The only problem we're facing here is the lack of motivation to produce and upload videos for you guys. I'm not gonna rehash that, but hopefully Gaijin makes some changes that we talked about and makes it a little bit more fun to play the game. Moving forward, I do have my instructor training coming up, so I'm going to be very busy for the next like month or two doing that. Not sure I'll even have time to upload anything regardless of the motivation levels, so try to catch the streams if you can. I still do stream like every now and then. We'll leave it at that. Don't roast me in the comments. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today, so thank you so much for watching. You all know the deal. This is Nimbo Soup. Nimbo signing out. Peace out, fellas.